We've got the number. It's come in at minus 2.36. I had a hunch it's going to be a minor positive. In the sense, it will not be as bad as the poll made it out to be, because we did get some sense from the CPI that the core inflation is stabilizing. It is the food angle that's been a disappointment, or that's falling. I mean, it's good for us, but that was to be expected, that we should be getting a wholesale price inflation number which will be slightly better than the 2.65 negative that we got in the previous month. Actually, we've been getting a fall in prices for the past 5 months. This will be the 6th month. November was the first month when we started getting a minus in the WPI price. Remember, the WPI index is heavily weighted in favor of manufactured goods and goods which are imported, landed goods. We call them tradables in economic jargon. And those have been falling, as we know, globally. Iron ore, coal, metals, chemicals, they've all been falling, and that's reflected in the lower prices. Okay, we now have the details. What's done? How about food? Food articles is plus 3.8% year on year, and it's just 0.5% higher month on month. Within food, cereals has fallen both year on year and month on month by 0.5% month on month and by 0.13% year on year. That's very important. We have come out of an unseasonal showers in Rabi, and our Kharif, at least sentimentally, should have been affecting the prices because it's supposed to be a lower Kharif. But cereals, no damage at all, so good management of stocks perhaps, or psyche. What about veggies, which is the usual misbehaving entity? Vegetables are up about 2.95 month on month, but minus 5.5% year on year. That again indicates a fairly decent management of both pricing psychology, pricing expectations, and goods. Pulses is the one that we always expected would be the sore point. It is up 7.5% month on month. Even that is a fall year on year by Pulses is up 23% year on year and 7.5% month on month. Those were the ones badly affected by the unseasonal rains. Even in the CPI, we saw a 16.6% rise in pulses, so that shouldn't shock anyone. Okay, let's go from food to fuel. Fuel correctly month on month was expected to be a little nasty. It's 3% higher because we saw that sharp hike in petrol and in diesel prices. And year on year, however, it continues to fall, 10.5%. Manufactured products is positive month on month. That's important. If I'm not wrong, last time we got a negative even month on month of 0.2%. This time it has risen month on month. Again, an indication that somewhere we are bottoming out on the core, on the tradable, the global prices, as well as the complete lack of demand that was pulling down wholesale prices in India. So this may be the last of the worst number of the bad numbers. You know, the 2.65% negative we saw last month, maybe the worst. It's 2.36 now. Expectations are that it should get into slightly better performance, maybe still minus, but a much lower minus in the months to come. Within manufactured products, edible oils prices have fallen month on month. That counts as manufactured, though it's a food item. Among others, it's only wood product. Okay, big falls have come in leather and I think rubber products, minus 0.2, and year on year those have fallen 0.5%. Man-made textiles and textiles in general have fallen about 3 to 6% year on year, but month on month it's a minor fall. Yes, man-made textiles have fallen by 1.5%. 1 minute, manufactured products. Okay, that's right. Sugar has fallen, which is the one that's fallen the most. Iron and semis. So iron ore, steel related products have fallen. Basic metals and alloys, again, they are priced off the landed products. That's fallen by 0.1% month on month, 3% fall year on year. That is the impact of global prices on Indian products. The unfortunate number really is cement. Minus 1.5% for the second month running. We were in minus even in April. That's unfortunate because normally the pre-monsoon months are months of high consumption, but this is probably because of government expenditure reduction and the basic slowdown in the economy. Cement remains a sore point. Chemicals is the one that's okay. That's done slightly better. It's
chemicals is minus 1.44.
Chemicals, that's year on year, right?
Versus April, 1.3
month on month.
in
Okay.
April.
Month on month, chemicals has risen by 0.1. Year on year, it probably has fallen. You're right. Okay, so minus 1.4 is right. Minus year on year, but month on month it has risen. Again, indicating that month on month things have stabilized a bit. Year on year they continue to fall. That is the story of the manufactured products. So my sense is that the wholesale prices are indicating a little bit of stability in manufactured goods. They are falling at a falling pace. There is still some fall. But let's now defer to the experts. Rupa Regienitsu, Chief Economist at L&T Finance, is joining us, as is Aditi Nair, the Senior Economist at ICRA. Ladies, welcome. It's an all-ladies show. That's nice. Rupa, your take first. Do you think that even the WPI, despite the negativity, is showing some bit of stability in prices? Not return of pricing power, at least a smaller fall in prices?
Yes, minor build-up in inflation we are seeing, and as you very rightly said, in most of the manufactured products components it is getting reflected. Barring the few exportables which are facing negative global demand, rest of the manufactured product prices we have seen some improvement sequentially. So I think like in the case of CPI, there is some firming up of core inflation. Of course, part of the increases because of higher petrol and diesel prices, which got translated into higher transportation costs. But on the whole, yes, disinflationary tendencies are receding, and we are seeing some build-up of inflationary pressures. And of course, as we had seen also, the statistical base was more favorable in case of CPI than WPI. So this was expected, and as you rightly said, the situation is stabilizing.
Okay. Aditi, same question to you. With inflation kind of stabilizing, at least the fall is receding, if you agree with Rupa, do you think the space therefore for cuts now starts receding?
Lata, I think, I broadly agree with Rupa, and one of the most reassuring things that has come out of both the CPI and the WPI numbers is really the fact that food inflation is surprised on the downside now for 3 months in a row. And this is despite all the concerns that had built up about the unseasonal rainfall, the Rabi crop harvest being downgraded in the third advanced estimates, etc. And other than pulses, which as you rightly pointed out earlier, we always knew were going to be a major area of concern. For the rest of the food pack, I mean, whether it's your domestic buffer stocks or globally lower prices of edible oils and sugar, etc., I mean, there are a lot of mitigants that are in place, even if the monsoon turns out to be as bad as what the IMD has indicated. So I think that would be the key thing that I would take away both from the CPI and the WPI data, that going forward, at least we're starting off with a lower level of food inflation than what we had feared, and therefore the situation may not be quite as bad as what we thought the day that the IMD reduced their monsoon forecast. Having said that, I would be still fairly confident that overall the average CPI for this year is going to be sub 5.5%. So I do think that there is still space for one more rate cut, even though we have seen core CPI inching up a little bit in the last month. It's, I think, still gone up to only around 4.6%. So it's pretty comfortable at this point in time, well below the level for the overall CPI that the RBI expects in January 2016. Okay. And, even with the WPI, I think the fact that we've reached a bottom, we did expect that this month's data was going to show that. Yeah. So not very surprising, and I think reassuring overall.
Alright, so that's good to know. Rupa, would you agree that there's space for one more rate cut in the least?
Well, I more or less agree with Aditi's overall analysis of industrial slowdown and, CPI remaining in the sub 5.5% level. But at this stage, we cannot say anything very conclusively, because RBI will like to remain more cautious because you see, this is just the beginning of the rainy season, and what really matters is its distribution. And luckily we have good water reservoir levels, and so far the performance has been good. But going forward, it all depends upon how the rainfall pans out in more irrigated areas versus less irrigated areas. So I think RBI will remain cautious, and the real assessment of the future stance of monetary policy we can make, I think, in the third week of July rather than now. And recent IIP number and today's WPI as CPI as well as CPI numbers, they substantiate RBI's stance that they may like to remain on hold until the monsoon uncertainty.
Rupa, that is the point. If you read this slight stabilizing of prices or the falling pace of fall, and if you read it with the higher than expected IIP numbers, are you getting a sense that growth is now better than forecast? Whether you look at growth numbers or at pricing power, is it looking better to you?
Growth picture is very mixed, because IIP numbers are highly inconsistent with the story conveyed by most of the leading indicators. Even if you take quarterly GVA numbers or corporate earnings numbers or PMI numbers, and you see, if you look at the IIP manufacturing, that series is highly volatile. So I think RBI will stay in a wait and watch mode, because we have made too many changes to our data series, and that's why to come at a very conclusive kind of an inference would take time. But yes, if you go by the recent high frequency data points, there is some scope for RBI to wait for some more time before easing monetary policy in an aggressive fashion.
No, on the contrary, I thought it was indicating growth, and to be fair, IIP is the only index which has not been revised. So we are comparing like to like, unless GVA numbers or GDP numbers, which have gotten revised completely out of sync with the previous numbers. So we really don't have a historical trend. I was reading the IIP numbers, and it indicated to me that for the first time in many years, we are seeming to show at least a 4 or 5 month trend of slowly but steadily increasing industrial output. Vivek Rajpal, the rates strategist at Nomura, is also joining us on the phone line from Singapore. Vivek, the numbers, WPI numbers at minus 2.36, not the most watched number, but it is better than what the street expected. The street was expecting a minus 4.6% or almost a minus 2.5%. As well, this minus 2.36 is not as big a fall as the previous month, April, when it was minus 2.65. Your thoughts on what will prey on bond dealers and on RBI?
So, as far as bond markets are concerned, market got relieved after CPI inflation number. I think we are at a stage where market got really nervous after RBI highlighted upside risk to the inflation in its previous meeting. And from that perspective, what we got as far as CPI inflation was concerned was more important. The market got a feeling that the inflation is stable, and from that perspective, it was relief to the markets. That's why we saw a positive reaction in the markets today. I think overall market is having a sense that, and I think this market needs to get this sense reinforced with every incoming data that inflation is stabilizing.
Okay.
And where it stabilizes is the most important part.
Okay. Vivek, what about bond yields? I mean, we are at the moment moving a little out of sync with domestic data altogether. That CPI data and today's WPI data has produced all of 0.1 basis point, not even 0.01 basis point impact, and even that I doubt is the CPI WPI effect. It is because bond yields in the US have fallen from 2.4 to 2.34, 2.33 levels. Do you think that we will continue to only track global yields? What is the sense you're getting about yield, 10-year yield in India? Say a month down the line, September 30th or June 30th levels, or for the rest of the year? Do we stay at these elevated 7.8% levels? I mean, even the auction devolved.
Right. So I think that's a very fair point. In fact, as monetary policy becomes stable, there are a whole host of factors that will start determining the bond yields. On the local front, I think inflation will always remain prominent on the data front. But as we go ahead, even global fixed income markets, how they pan out, will be an important driver. Nevertheless, I think given that we have already adjusted significantly since last policy meeting, I think the risk-reward from here for a 1-month outlook is towards a lower yield than a higher yield for a 3-month outlook. Yeah.
That's positive. Well, on that positive note, we'll thank all of you, Rupa, Aditi and Vivek, for joining us with your analysis of the WPI. The wholesale price index has come in slightly less of a negative than what our poll indicated, but it is still indicating that prices are falling on year-on-year terms, largely because of the global fall in prices. But it is not the only contributor. Fall in prices have also happened because of several food prices being substantially lower than year-ago levels. Potatoes are 52% lower than year-ago levels. Vegetables are 5% lower than year-ago levels. Cereals, especially rice, is about 2% lower than year-ago levels, and food articles on the whole are up only 3.8%. The CPI had indicated that they are up 4.8%. But basically, they are a minor problem. Whereas when it comes to manufacturing, year-on-year terms, we continue to see that prices are lower. They are minus 0.6 compared to year-ago levels. Almost 1% lower manufactured goods. But on a month-on-month basis, from April to May, there has been a minor stabilizing. Some products at least are showing a slight uptick, not a whole lot, but some of them are showing an uptick, and among them are largely chemicals that used to fall a lot. This time around, chemicals have shown a bit of an uptick, rubber has shown a bit of an uptick, but metals continue to fall. Short point, the disinflation in manufactured goods is reducing. Food is not a problem at this point in time. It's actually indicating that it is well under control. That's the news from the macro front.
But